are getting a look at the inner workings of the New York Police Department. With 14 years of service, Edwin Raymond is pulling back the curtain on what he says is wrong with policing. In his new memoir called An Inconvenient Cop, My Fight to Change Policing in America, he calls New York City the red-hot center of the problem for racially motivated police brutality and looks at how to change systemic issues. Our Brian Buckmire spent time with Raymond to talk about his rise from poverty to policing and his decision to ultimately speak out.
So this is where my career started in the NYPD. This is where I was a rookie. And the command is only about 3 blocks south from here.
I joined the police department in 2008. At the time, we don't really have viral videos that are ubiquitous and prevalent. I realized the country is becoming very polarized. It's either cops can do no wrong or all cops are bastards. And I realized the voice that's constantly missing is the voice of the cops themselves.
Retired Lieutenant Edwin Raymond shares his story about trying to create change while working for the New York Police Department. It's a system he says, at times, was broken. He reveals his firsthand accounts of corruption in his new memoir, An Inconvenient Cop.
I try to be as empirical and objective as possible based on the way I see life, what I encountered as a police officer, and what I feel needs to be done to change things.
Raymond first raised eyebrows in a New York Times article in 2016. He cited several ways he believed the NYPD needed to change, accusing it at times of being racist. The article states his commanders had been punishing him, he believed, for refusing to comply with what Raymond considered a hidden and inherently racist policy.
So I'm walking down with my girlfriend at the time, and there's an unmarked slowing, like matching our pace. And then right when I get here, the car jumps the curb and essentially pins us. They run out and they throw me right here. And I'm like this. And they're just going through my pockets, just emptying everything in my pockets. And, you know, it was the first time that it wasn't a white cop.
Being on the inside, now understanding that a lot of the behaviors of the police, it's not even them, they're just going with the flow. We just gotta change that flow, you understand? Because, you know, before joining, I thought that was the individual. I thought, of all the things you could be doing right now, because you're racist, you're doing this to me.
So why a memoir? Why not another type of writing?
I think it was crucial that my life story be incorporated into the work, because essentially my life story is what complements the work. That's what fortifies me and gets me ready to do the work. At the time, I didn't know that that's what was happening, but the reason why I was able to do what I've done, become a whistleblower and stand 10 toes down firm, is because of my childhood. And so it was crucial that the reader understand who I was and what helped me become the man that I am. Being collective is something that my father always instilled in my brother and I, because we really didn't have it, and the community stepped up for us. So since young, I always see myself as part of a collective.
What do you think your mother would say if you gave this to her?
That she's proud, yeah. She died at 35. And now thousands of people will know her name.
Yeah.
So I hope she's proud.
Truly explosive allegations.
They're coming from police officers who are part of what's being called the NYPD 12, who filed a class action lawsuit in federal court.
This is not just another lawsuit. 12 cops willing to step up like this, because you're not going to get this again for 100 years.
In the 2020 documentary, Crime Plus Punishment, Edwin filed a lawsuit along with 12 other officers, placing a greater spotlight on how the structure of the NYPD incentivized police officers to target communities, sometimes their own, for what he says was in pursuit of greater arrests to fulfill quotas.
And all this got dismissed.
All this got dismissed.
I'm not just exposing an annoyance. This is centered to the problem. You know, and I can go down the list of many people who ended up dead at the hands of cops, where it started with a quota broken window stop. You know, Sandra Bland, Philando Castile. These are all stops, even Eric Garner. These are stops that started because of pressure and quotas, and someone ended up dead.
You're a Haitian-American black man. My parents are Jamaican and Grenadian. I'm black in America. I know culturally, men like us don't open up in this type of way. But you can clearly see you're vulnerable here in a way that I think invites other men like that to participate. Do you think that this book could lead to other officers, other people saying, I'm going to follow in the footsteps, and we might hear more stories like this in the future?
I'm hoping. If it doesn't, then I got to go write another book or something. Ever since becoming a whistleblower, over 2,000 cops all over the world have reached out from seeing interviews and watching a documentary. So now with the book as me being more thorough, I'm really hoping to amplify that.
When it comes to police, everyone's got an opinion. You've got abolish the police, reform the police, and everything in between. You're taking the stance of reform. Where do you see yourself in that spectrum, and why do you place yourself there?
Had I not been on the inside, it's very likely I would have probably said abolish. You know, every now and then you get a good argument as to why abolition is probably the better answer. Mm-hmm. There are many reform measures that have failed because, one, it's not incentivized. So by changing the incentive structure, that's how you get there.
Spring of 2023, after 15 years, you leave the force.
When Lieutenant Raymond arrives to a scene, the people know they're getting true service, right? What policing is supposed to be, theoretically. Now that Lieutenant Raymond is no more, it's like, wow, I can't be that one example or one of several examples of a possibility of something better. But the sweet part of it was, now I'm free to amplify my voice.
Because I knew what the badge meant to so many people, even what it meant to me, it took a while for me to accept. And because I knew I was going to do it differently, I put that energy forward, and eventually I got the love right back.
Our thanks to Brian Buckmire for that. ABC News did reach out to the New York Police Department for a response to Raymond's claims. They said in a statement, in part, during his time with the NYPD, however, Mr. Raymond never proposed any initiative or program to department leadership that would suggest he was interested in reforming the policing profession, whether parochially, nationally, or globally. Despite that reality, we certainly remain open to hearing or reading about any ideas he might now foster.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.